Hey everyone, welcome back to Enforcer and the Dude here at Norwell Motorplex on the Gold Coast. Dude, big month of racing.
Back from our tour?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for everyone too for coming out to the Bathurst live show and everyone from the Oxford Hotel. Weren't they good? They were so good to us, so accommodating.
Oh, good, and our fan base, like I've said it down there, the knowledge of the people that watch our show, and I reckon it's probably 1 in 5 people at the mountain were Enforcer and the Dudes fans, so it was pretty hard to move around, and like at the back of the pits and the camp area and that, we've got a great following, and I reckon we've got our target market right there, mate.
Oh well, we've always threatened we were going to do a live show at Bathurst, and it was a perfect spot for it. Like I said, the Oxford is so much tradition there. Geez, we've had a few shady nights there over the years too, I might add, but it was very cool. Great crowd, and we had great guests too. You know, Roland Dane and Peter Adam, fantastic. How good was Greg Murphy? Like Greg Murphy is just, I reckon, just hit a new level as far as, you know, his enthusiasm for the sport, how well he presents. You know, he does speed sport in New Zealand. And
yes, yeah.
He just great, you know. I mean, he was so good to listen to, his experience, you know, his journey for the wild card and explaining all of that. It was just very cool. So if you haven't seen that episode, it's up online, so you can go back and check it out.
He was spot on with the way he articulated himself, as you say.
Yeah.
He's pretty good with the media, but his passion for what Richie was doing too was. Yeah. You saw that genuinely come through, didn't you?
Oh, very. Yeah, it wasn't all about me. You know, he was very. He contributed a lot to Richie for the whole program. You know, and to Peter Adam too for putting it together. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, well, and Pete and Roland are good value.
He's fired off, eh?
Well, they're just good because.
They were going at it.
Why?
Next thing they're having a. Well, Pete doesn't drink, but next thing they're having a drink after the.
Having a hug session.
Having a hug session. Love, hate.
But that's what it's good. Speak your mind, but don't hold a grudge.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's got different opinions, so get it out there. It was just really cool, you know, those two. And a lot of people ask, oh, why do you keep having those two on the show?
Because they come on.
Because they come on. Hey, make no mistake, we ask a lot of people to come on the show and they won't come on. You know, whether they are worried about coming on, that they'll get smashed up, or I don't know. But either way, those two, no problems. Whatever the subject, they're into it. So that was really good. But what we wanted to do is dissect 2 of the big events. Bathurst, obviously, a debrief on Bathurst.
Yep.
Secondly, and first one I want to kick off with is the recent one on the weekend with MotoGP. Wow. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
that's one of the best motor races I've ever seen, eh?
And we say it all the time, how good these guys are. Like, look, I don't know what, it's very well kept secret on what they get paid. You know how Formula One, they go, oh, Hamilton's on 50 million, he's on 40 million. You never really know what MotoGP guys are on. But Jesus, if they aren't on the same money, seriously, for what they do and what they risk, well, they're getting dudded. You know, insane how good and committed they are.
Yeah, well, I think they are in pretty good dough. Like,
they want to be.
Well, yeah. If you Google the tax problems Valentino Rossi
yeah, fair enough.
a few other things, but
you know what I mean. Like as far as pound for pound, geez, MotoGP.
Oh, they're at risk, mate. You know? They're not soft. They're at risk. And if you look, even if you look what happened with Alex Marquez and Jack Miller, it doesn't take much for it all to go wrong.
Yeah. And it can happen to the best too.
The best.
Just an incredible race. So good to see so many people back down on the island as well. Because Brock Feeney, through his dad Paul, follows the bikes. He's obviously got a lot of mates still in that arena, you know, and they've sort of been, the numbers have been down a bit through Europe, and TV numbers haven't been fantastic. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it was good to see that really bounce back.
I think it's a circuit, Russ. Like, whenever that Phillip Island on a motorcycle, that's like, if you look at it, it always puts on a cracking race.
Yeah.
And no one seems to be able to break away.
Yep.
It's just if you could design a track to race a motorcycle on, that's just it. It's so lucky to have that. like that.
Plenty of runoff.
Plenty of runoff, and it's something that needs to be protected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was good to see the numbers back there and the amount of, and the cool thing about it is, you know, you hear of everyone, or a lot of groups riding down from interstate on their bikes. You know, it's a big group ride down there and they sort of spend with all their mates over the weekend, and so cool. So it's just not fly in, fly out, you know, actually real hardcore, you know, bike enthusiasts going down. So, but just such a great event, good to see. TV numbers were good. It's just a real kick in the arm for it, and with so, well, unfortunately, we're going to lose one Aussie rider, Remy Gardner, not being in it full time, but
yeah,
he put it a cracking, and it was a shame the commentators didn't pick it up, because he was up to 10th there at one stage.
He scored a point and he was going good, but
yeah.
Look, if you look at Remy, he's always taken a bit of time to get going.
Yeah,
you know, but he'll work it out and get there determined. He deserves another year, but he's not going to get it.
Real shame. I hope he doesn't get lost in the system, because, you know, like you said, he's
off to that superbike deal now. But I just, like, if you look at his form and how his career went, like, you know, he gets there.
Yeah.
And when he gets there, he's super competitive. So to not give him another crack, it's pretty disappointing.
Just would have been good to see him on another bike. You know, obviously the bike wasn't competitive, because that Fernandez is, you know, well, he ran second to him. Yeah. In the Moto 2, so it's a shame. So, and he's no slouch, and he was in front of him most of the time. So it's a shame he didn't get another crack. But overall, just cracking race. I just wanted to mention that, because it's just, I was on the edge of my seat the whole race. Like, it was just wow.
It's a bit
it spins my mind.
A lot of, you know, it's a lot of people on the grid too. Like, it's a bit of a celebrity spotting type thing. Something that we used to have in supercars, where people wanted to be an event, but that we've lost. So that's something that gives it a bit of appeal too, doesn't it?
No, it's pretty cool. Hey, on to Bathurst.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to start? Where do you want to start with that? Like, it was just...
I think, first of all, you've got to start with the track preparation and drainage. Like, that needs to be spoke about. Like, when practice kicked off on the first practice, you know, there was some real fast times going around, but everyone was just dragging crack seal around the track. So I don't know how the Bathurst City Council thinks they're going to crack seal the circuit, like, before the biggest event of the year.
So that was a sealer that they spray on to...
Yeah, mate, you see...
Over the cracks in the...
Yeah, and it overbands. So there's the crack, and then it overbands it, but you know, that crack sealer goes in at about 100 degrees.
Yep.
If it hasn't really cured and had been there for a long time, and the tyre runs at 100 degrees, it just picks it up and pulls it out. And everyone's just dragging it around the track. The cars were coming in with it all under the guards. Like, that's the town's biggest asset, and they maintain it like a road, like it's a road, not a racetrack. They really need to put some thought behind that, because...
So that's similar to Winton many moons ago.
It's happened so many times.
And that was like 3 seconds a lap quicker or something at one stage in qualifying, some ridiculous times, which they've never come close to again. Yeah,
but there's technology out there that other racetracks around the world don't do that process anymore. So, you know, it'd be like being at surface and they're not cleaning the beach. You know, it's the town's biggest asset, and
so
it's not a road, it's a racetrack. They need to put some more effort behind that. It's pretty bad.
Especially with the size of it as well.
Yeah, and I reckon they should have a look at the drainage too. Like,
yeah, it's a good point.
You know, there's a lot to be learned out of that, and the town would go broke without that joint. So,
well, I hope they look into it, because it. Yes, I mean, the circumstances with that much rain in a short period of time, but even still, you've got to prepare for it. You know, you can't, because imagine if that rain kept going. What do? You can't bane the event. Well, you can if it's too bad. It's like, you can't just run it on a Monday.
No, you can't. Well, you could if you... No, it's a public road, right? You've got to open up and let people back into their houses.
So it's... Yeah, like you said, it's a good point. Lesson be learned.
Lesson be learnt. You know, they need to go on a fact-finding mission and see what other people do around the world and how they maintain their tracks and keep them going, because, you know, just crack sealant like that, it's not on.
Yeah. So the race itself, it was interesting that because it had been wet so far, right up till basically the race, that very few had dry laps. So she was a bit of a lottery as far as for what you can work out within the teams, what setup they were going to put on it and how they were going to roll.
It's a good point, because it probably throws, like, all the big teams are now using simulation.
Yeah.
And it throws that out the window, because you haven't really got a baseline. The track's evolving so much. It's wet. You can't feed all that information into into their simulation. So, I think that shook things up a bit.
Oh, I reckon it's great.
Yeah.
It always makes you wonder where people say, I need more practice. Maybe it's better less.
Turn up and race. Unload and go.
Or one practice session, off you go. You know, like, so there's a bit for it.
It does.
Maybe it would help some of the other teams, perceive, well, I won't say lower teams, but teams that haven't got the budget of the big ones, it might benefit them rather than too much.
Well, the result didn't change in the end, did it?
No, true. The cream always rises.
The best car, the best team, the best drivers normally get to the front.
Yeah. What do you think about the start of the race? I see Roland Dane came out and said it should have been a rolling start because of the weather, and let's face it, first 5 laps there was a bit going on.
Yeah, I think a couple of things there played into that. Like, on hindsight, when you look at the amount of carnage that happened and the water on the side of the track, you would say it should have been a rolling start, but Bathurst is Bathurst, and everyone wants the spectacle of letting the pigeons loose and letting them roar. So obviously the show overruled the common sense decision there. So it's easier in hindsight, probably should have been. But it was a perfect storm for a lot of people, wasn't it? It's everyone planning to put the co-drivers in, or most of the teams put the co-drivers in and plan for the back half of the race, but it backfired on a few of them. Yeah,
it's to me that's what gives some of the bigger teams a bit of an advantage.
Experienced
co-driver, because you can throw them in if you've got a Tanda or a Coulthard, or they're going to do a good job off the start. As far as someone that's been thrown in the deep end, some have never even. This is their first Bathurst in a main game car.
Yeah,
they may have done it in a Super 2, but a lot more pressure.
Yes, I think so. You're right. The teams need to take some responsibility in that, and the smartest ones there was probably Groves sticking Lee in to start the race and taking the pressure off Matt Payne, who had a really solid first Bathurst, didn't he? But one of the reasons he really did was the team managed him properly and allowed him to get in a position where he could learn, because the kid is fast, but he is prone to making a few little mistakes here and there. But that'll come with experience, and the way they managed him with Lee for his first Bathurst was fantastic. But then you look at Zane, who is experienced but hasn't been racing all year. It didn't work out too well for him, but I think the team's got some responsibility in that too.
Is it one of those things where you need to, look at starting the main drivers, like instead of saying, a rolling start, you can't have a rolling start. I know what Roland meant about that, but you can't, like you said, for the show, for the spectacle, you can't have a rolling start. It wouldn't look like Bathurst.
No, it wouldn't, but I don't think people would know once it got going, and it did make it pretty exciting there for a while. But
but do you need, should in those sort of circumstances, them come out and go, your main driver has to start?
Well, you'd have to change the rules, and it'd have to be force majeure or something in the rules. But if you've got Garth Tander as your co-driver, or someone like Dave Russell, who's been racing his Porsche around there all weekend and a wealth of experience, you go, that's the ace up my sleeve. I've got a more experienced guy there. I'll put in the car. I'm confident they're going to get it through the first stage. But if you haven't experienced those conditions before and couldn't just think, I've just got to get this thing through. Like, Tanner didn't make any hay on the first stint, did he? He just sat there,
kept it
and
cool.
thought, and his comments were later, well, this is pretty dicey here. I'm just going to get this thing through, and I know once I give it to Shane, he'll get it to the front. So, that's just what happened.
It's a shame, and you mentioned Zane. It's just a shame what happened, because it was a perfect storm for the boy. That at the end of the day, he was the first one to really go off. Especially so early, very wet.
Very wet, right?
Very wet, because it just finished raining in the morning. It was the wettest part of that grassed area, and people can't judge later on, because I know there was comments both, throughout the media and even in the commentary saying other people that went off later in the race, what a great job they did getting back on the track, and you go, well, hang on.
Yeah, well, got it. After they've seen what happened to Zane, they're going to manage it better, aren't they?
And that part of the track was drier.
Yeah.
Wasn't as much standing water. Quite a few cars had gone off, so it churned the grass up. So there was, in effect, a bit of a sand trap there, because it had been churned up a bit. And people had seen what happened before. So it's all right to say, Fred's gone off and that's how you should do it. But hang on, like that was first one off, green grass, no trail tracks through there, standing water. You know, it was the ideal conditions for a crash. You know, and you couldn't do anything about it.
No.
You know, like at the end of the day, you're a passenger. You know, so and he got smashed up pretty hard for it. You know, by some on social media. You know, which
he copped it there, but
bloody hate. You know, and it affected him pretty hard, which annoyed me. You know, really annoyed that. Up till that stage, he was one of the star co-driver performers. You know,
throughout the weekend,
in all the
he's
sessions,
doing a good job.
You know, he was constantly.
It's a hard one, mate. He hasn't been driving all year.
Yep.
Gets the opportunity, wants to do a good job, and was he running behind Murph?
Yeah.
Murph would have been playing himself in, so you'd be looking at Murph going, oh yeah, he's a bit slow, you know. But instead of going, well, that's Greg Murphy in front of me, the reason why he's being cautious, he's probably thought, oh, it's time to go, you know. But you know, you can't buy experience. You've got to go through these things. So just hope he gets back on the horse and gets back out there, because that's the only thing you can do, isn't it?
Just really, really annoys me though. It seems to me, in my personal opinion, that the lack of support for him. You know, after the fact as well. You know, so you know, just don't use the headline without giving a bit of support. You know,
But it's car racing, stuff goes wrong, and
of course it does.
It just happens to be on the biggest stage, and everyone sees it. So.
Yeah. And the information I've got in the background that Groves have been very good about it. Actually rang, you know, they've spoken to his family, and because Zane's pretty upset about it, you know, as you would be. You know, he's a good kid. He's honest.
Yep.
You know, and Groves have been fantastic. A couple other teams not so much, which annoys me, but I would expect it of them as well.
You've had a similar thing. Remember when you slipped up the inside and at turn 2 there and got on the grass a bit and took Holdsy out? He tipped upside down. You didn't get absolutely caned to death, did you?
Well, you know, the thing, it's good. Well, look at all the things that went on over that weekend by co-drivers and main drivers.
Yeah.
It was only by luck they didn't take other cars out.
Yep.
They were only unlucky in that situation because everyone was nose to tail. It was the start of the race. You know, otherwise I could name 20 things that went on there that would have taken out other cars by experienced drivers as well that cocked up.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day. So let's, you know, I just hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't have a lasting effect of his career, because, like I said, he's a good kid, done a lot in Europe, and it just annoys me that, you know, he's people like Chaz Mostert has come out and support him. Will Brown, you know, it's good to see them get behind it, especially about the abuse that he's copped online. So no need for that. But
not at all.
No need at all. What else stood out to you?
Like I said, I thought Dave Russell was brilliant.
Huh? He goes all right, doesn't he? I don't know. He's a nice lad. He's always been respectful to me.
Hard working guy.
When you see him in the car, he looks like he's going to explode. He's red and his eyes are like this, and he looks like he's hating life. But geez, he can steer a car.
I think it's like, and you look how he fits into that team, and around Brody and around Barry and all that. But I think it's if you treat someone like a racing driver, they'll act like one. You know.
Yeah.
And I think. And he's at that stage in his career where he's got a huge amount of experience, probably knows he's not going to make it as a main game driver, and embracing the co-driver role the way it should be, and really enjoying the experience and doing a hell of a job. So, you know, if he'd be on a lot of people's list to try and get.
Done a good job over the years, a bit like he's another Luffy, you know?
Yeah.
Just done a solid job over the years. And the good thing about those sort of guys, dude, and I really enforce this point that they're not auditioning. They know they're not going to get a full-time drive, right?
Yep.
So they just want to do it the best job they can for that race. And that's so important, because there's a lot of other drivers out there auditioning.
It's that point in your career where you go, well, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
If I do my job, I can win Bathurst.
Exactly. It's not bad to have on your resume.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I thought he was brilliant.
Waters had a fast car, but just not quite there.
It's sort of unravelled.
I thought he was on. He was on.
And then unravelled when Moff Moff got sort of turned himself around, however you look at it,
Yeah.
by Brody. But again, the team's got to take a bit of responsibility there. If you've got someone like Brody Kostecki behind you, he is going to go where you're not. Right? It might be the outside, it might be the inside, it might be whatever. And if he can trip Jamie Whincup up into making a mistake, he's going to, no disrespect to Moff, but he's going to outplay him too. So the team should have been, hey mate, that's Brody behind you. Just be aware, let him go, we'll get him later. But everyone's that worried about track position. They're just not prepared to give it up. So that's the way I read that.
Fast race pace too, wasn't it? It was fast once it got dry.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, Shane just shines, doesn't he, towards the end of those stints.
Well, he just knew what he was doing, mate. He'd pull out a bit and then back up, put some dirty air over the car behind him, pull away again. He just had it under control. But I really think that no one was going to pass anyone.
Yeah.
It's just you got 1 or 2 laps on the fresh tyre to get the job done, and if you don't get it done, with the aero wash of those cars, you're a shot duck. But he had good straight line speed too. If you look at Shane's car, he had straight line handling.
Had the wing peeled off of it.
And it looked pretty loose up over the top, and he was hanging on.
Jeez, it was loose.
But
like his rally experience coming.
But no one's going to pass you, right?
No, they definitely tuned it right. They're tuning it during. Well, a lot of teams actually surprising doing wing adjustments.
Pulling wing off.
Yeah, during the race, pretty smart.
Yeah.
Cool racer. Look, we've got to touch on the point too, which I think is really important. That massive crowd there, which is fantastic. Fantastic for the race. Fantastic for Bathurst. The event. To see that amount of people there camping, especially in pretty average conditions, pretty cool.
Shocking.
And for them to hang around, good on all those people. But I think a lot had to do with it. That car, a little model car that we got sitting right there, the Holden. Last time we're going to see that round the mountain. Bit sad.
There's still a lot of passion for that brand, isn't there?
Oh, massive amount, right? Good.
So whether they cross over to the Chevrolet brand, which they probably will, but there's just a lot of equity in that brand, and it's hard to believe it doesn't exist anymore, isn't it?
No, it's just weird, and I think that was a really something that came across so strong there as, you saw a lot of the old school families. I still had all their old Holden jackets on, and it was just. I think that was really cool. It was really cool. It was almost like a send off, a bit like the Queen thing, It's like giving them a nice send off, and because that's where Holden was known at the mountain, like.
Well, he won it in a Holden.
Yeah,
It means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, sort of a bit of an emotional moment, It's as I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure there would have been a lot of eyeballs on that race with the likes of Larry Perkins and, all those guys that have been involved with Holden for a long time, and you never see it again. It's a shame, but new era's coming around, and you're right. I hope GM and GM Special Vehicles really grab hold of that and try and gravitate massive fan base. Keep them and bring them along on the new journey.
Yeah, they'll be loyal. They won't. Well, they're not going to want to follow a Ford, are they? So you're either one or the other.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, they should be able to slide them over.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it would have been an eye opener going, geez, okay, big deal this one. So,
yeah,
and now, also I saw there, and I want to get your views on this.
Yep.
Finally, because it ties in, I think, very well with Bathurst, and some of the things that was. The consequence for some of the accidents that happened too is the wet weather tyres.
Right.
Yep. So finally they've got testing or approved a new Dunlop wet weather tyre. About bloody time, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, you get to a heavy rain situation and that tyre just can't cope, can it? So
I think it's the same tread pattern as we used to use.
Mate, it's
back in the Larry.
It's the same as you would have had on the Ford Sierra back in 1990, so that's the same tyre. And
I've got to tell you, it was seriously, like I said, in my personal opinion, seriously average. It was hard work.
It's made to work in all conditions, okay?
Yeah.
So it's pretty durable as a wet. You can keep it on the car a bit longer. you go to a softer compound, it dries out, you'll be in the pits looking for slicks again, but that should make the racing better.
Exactly right, like running a soft compound tyre.
Yeah, and there's a massive difference. Like wet weather tyres on a normal track, there could be up to 10 seconds difference from a really good wet to an average wet. So
single biggest thing that would be a game changer in making better racing and saving equipment is a better wet tyre.
Better wet tyre, and look, you saw it on that weekend. It was a couple of wet races there, and Porsche Cup could go out. They got a Michelin wet, which is the industry standard for the best wet out there. Everyone knows it is, and they were able to have a race. And then when you look at the Super 2 and the supercar guys, they're sliding around and struggling to stay on the track.
It's just, mate, why that didn't happen 10 years ago, I don't know. You know,
probably still had a heap of wets.
Mate, that's why again, that's what I just shut up. I just roll my eyes.
Anyway, it's happening. It's going to be good.
About bloody time.
Should be able to. Situations where you can't race, you should be able to keep going.
Yeah.
Put on a show.
10-4 on that.
Yeah.
Hey, right, let's go have some fun.
Okay.
I've arranged a car to test.
Okay.
A fast car.
Okay.
A sports car.
Sports car.
Yeah, I know not one of your high priority. No, you're not a big fan of the sports cars. I think you're going to be a fan of this one.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go out there. You meet me on the skid pan.
All right. It's another surprise viewing, isn't it?
Yeah. You meet me on the skid pan. I'll go out the shed and grab it.
Righto, mate.
All right. Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Righto. I wonder what he's got this time. Last time it was that Ram TRX. It was pretty bloody cool. Holy moly! The little red Corvette. Who'd you borrow that off, Russ?
Dude.
Were the tyres already munted, or did you do that on the way here?
Oh, I think that was only one lap.
Oh, okay.
What do you reckon?
Pretty good, isn't it?
We're threatening to do it.
Yeah.
You know how we've been talking about the Vet for a while? Well, the friendly people from GM Special Vehicles have finally loaded us one.
Right.
That could be a good or bad thing.
Oh, I reckon it'll be pretty good, mate.
I know. What do you reckon?
I reckon we're lucky to have this car in right-hand drive in Australia. It's like amazing, really, to have this here.
So we're going to have a bit of a quick lap around it, get out and do some laps. And I reckon we have a crack at the Norwell production car lap record as well.
Camaro, was it?
ZL1.
ZL1.
That currently holds it, so there we go. Okay. Let's rip into it. Hey, first impressions of style. What do you think?
No, it's a proper sports car, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the right colour. Little red Corvette.
Yeah, one of your favourite songs?
Oh, mate. No, I reckon it's cool, mate. I saw Roland Dane's got one. I've had a look.
Has Roland ordered one?
Yeah, he's already got it.
He's got it?
He's got it. So he's always ahead of the curve, that bloke. The electric car before someone gets it, the Corvette, whatever. So, yeah, he raves about it, reckons it's a proper car.
So the thing I like about it is it's sort of a bit, I reckon it's a little bit between a full GT car, when you think of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and a sports tourer. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, I reckon it's got that cool little niche in between, because the reports I've had back from it is that a few people I know in Sydney that have got them. Sydney, everyday traffic, hard work, they're a good everyday car. You can actually drive them, which we'll soon find out for ourselves, but you can drive the things every day.
A little bit more user-friendly than a Ferrari or Lambo, you reckon, every day?
Well,
not that you'd probably ever get to drive one of them, would you?
You know, I'm not a big sports car fan.
You have a few mates with a few of those cars, wouldn't you?
It's a Gold Coast, mate.
Living where you live.
It's a Gold Coast. It's a white shoe brigade, linen shorts, you know, the whole deal.
In your area,
but if you got a Lamb,
you must be the only bogan on Isla Capri.
I'm the only one with a ute. But you got the guys that have got like a Ferrari or Lambo or something like that, and for an everyday car, they're probably as easy to live with as Meghan Markle. You know, like they're hard work.
Yeah.
But this, I think, is a good in between. Like I said, that's the feedback that I've had from it. That you could use it for an everyday if you wanted to. So That's the cool thing about it. So,
got the racing heritage still.
it has. It
Still,
has.
obviously,
And that's the good thing about it is.
race Corvettes at
Well-
Le Mans, and still had a massive racing presence.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's not an overly big car. Like it's what 4 points.
How long have you had it for?
No, I only picked it up today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I only just drove down here.
You sure?
Yeah. No. She's only on loan for the day.
What? You don't get to keep it for a week?
No.
Did you
I don't.
drive it round the street at home, or did it just come
No,
straight
no,
here?
straight here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not a big car.
Yep.
4640, I think, millimetres long, like 4.6 metres. You know, just under 2 metres wide, 1.930. I think if you want to get real technical. So not super big.
What about the cockpit,
so-
mate? Will I fit in there all right?
Well, that's what's going to be interesting. So we'll do a test in that in a minute, but it's.
Being American, they're probably going to have a bit more room
Well,
in there
you
for the
think so.
hamburger eaters.
Yeah, you think so. With
Yeah.
this, no offence to our American counterparts, but there's a few big units there. So yeah, you reckon you're going to fit in all right. I think taller people would be touching that, but this is a convertible, so the top actually goes back,
does it
which
really?
we have a mess
Okay.
around with. We got a bit of grunt too. It's 370 odd kilowatts.
Beautiful.
640 newton meters of torque.
Sticker price?
So tad over 200.
That's pretty good value, isn't it?
You know, for one with the
Yeah,
big specs.
yeah,
Well, what are you going to buy? Something like this would be well over
That's a
half
head-
a million.
it's a head
in
turner.
a Euro.
It's a head turner.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's a lot of holidays.
Yeah.
And you still got a pretty cool car.
Yeah.
So, big brakes. Funny enough, the rear discs are 5mm bigger than the front discs.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of brake because of the rear engine.
Weight over the back.
Exactly right. See, you're good. You're technical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 350mm rear discs, 345mm fronts.
Yep.
So, and exactly because of that reason, got a lot of weight over the back end. When I first saw that, I thought, put the discs on the wrong end. No. That's why I've done it. Heap more weight over the back. Got track modes, 8-speed dual clutch auto.
Okay.
So with all that torque, you don't need a 10-speed. You're actually better off having less. Less is more when you've got something with a ton of torque. Normally aspirated 6.2. So it's a good balanced package. But like anything, like any rear engine car, which we'll find out in a minute, a little bit tricky to drive. You know, a lot of weight swinging off the back. But
Yeah.
have a look, dude, see if you fit in.
Slide in.
yeah.
How do you open the doors, mate?
Huh? Oh, there's a catch.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Beautiful.
nice though. So all the handles are nicely hidden away, so there's not an ugly door handle hanging out.
Well, there's plenty of room there, mate.
Fit in all right?
Yeah, mate, I've been in the McLaren and a few other cars. I reckon
Yeah.
this is pretty good.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Nice finish. Bit of the, bit of suede going on.
Mate, straight away I like this because I've got a decent footrest
Yeah.
and I've got plenty of leg room here for a sports car, you know. Normally when they're left-hand drive and they become right-hand drive and you lose a bit of... First thing you lose is a footrest.
You got something to prop your knee up
Yeah,
against
look
on
at
the
that.
left
Like
side.
I feel pretty nice in here.
Well, the guys from GM Special Vehicles told me this was moulded, because very unique cockpit layout,
Yeah.
on the US fighter planes. That's
Really?
what actually the
That's why you
design
got the
was
glass
made around.
and the-
Yeah, so everything is in touch. All your controls for
Yeah,
your
look at that.
climate
See, you're right.
and
My
everything.
elbow's right there. Look at that.
Yeah, everything to your fingertips.
Yeah.
So you think if you're on a plane, everything has to be within.
Well, it
'cause
does,
You can't
aviation.
loosen your belts and go grab something. So that's what it was modelled on.
On the ergonomics.
Yeah. So it gives you that. Does give you that race car open wheeler feel, doesn't it?
Look at the roof, mate.
It's actually their first ever convertible.
That's what I thought,
So
eh?
it had target top, but this is
But it's
actually
a proper
fold back convertible.
first Corvette ever with a proper convertible option.
Pretty cool. Want to see it work?
Yeah, let's see it work.
I think I can make it work, mate.
Is it manual or
Hey? No, fully auto.
is it really?
Yeah, you can do it off the key, apparently. So, yeah, give it a go. There we go.
Mate,
When-
it's got a picture on the car on the dash.
Oh yeah.
Full glass cockpit
Full
here.
glass.
This is full
Have a go.
fighter pilot spec.
Now you can put it up and back at slow speeds while you're driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if you're driving around town and people recognise you, you can put it up.
You can put it up.
Yeah.
As long as slow speed, you can't do it at 200 k's, but probably rip the thing off. Hey,
Sure we can't hang on
hey,
to this for more than a day? Like if we...
What's that? You get yourself in too much trouble, dude. We're too old for this. So. Just driving around surface.
Be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Hey, look at the back window. Back window comes down too.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
So that slides down.
Geez, they're good seats.
They're good seats, aren't they?
Well, I'm a big guy, right? Normally I get in the Ferrari or McLaren or something, because I've got a few mates that have got those cars, you know.
No, like you said.
And I'm actually pretty comfortable in this seat.
Well, the average American, they're quite big.
Look at my leg room
so.
here, mate. Like everything's... I reckon that's your every... Like, I could sit in here every day, you know.
You can see what I mean about the feedback that I've had, that for an everyday, you can live with it without...
Because of the ergonomics of the driver.
That's it.
I think that's its plus, really.
I mean, we're going to tell by the driving. It's got a multitude of modes as well, so which is pretty cool. Bose stereo. So no holding back. I mean, it's just got the best of everything. GT, they're optional seat, the GT style seats.
Look at all this thing here, mate. It is very futuristic, isn't it? Oh, see, everything's...
Well, just everything's there. And the good thing about it...
Have a look at the switch panel there, mate. I feel like I'm flying the helicopter.
Well, the other thing about it is because it's a proper right-hand drive, factory right-hand drive, that everything is on the right side.
Yes.
You know how you get some conversions and the handbrake's on the wrong side, or something isn't.
Remember we did the Camaro and I picked the armrest wasn't where I needed it to be. It was just one little thing.
Yeah. Because obviously it's always a compromise with what you change over. But when it comes factory, everything is where it's supposed to be, left or right-hand drive. So there's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, the proof's in the pudding, eh?
Want to take it for a steer?
As well. Can I go first, or do you want to go first?
Hey? Oh, I like going first. You know I do.
Okay.
All right, dude. Ready for some laps?
Yeah,
So-
put the seat forward a bit. But...
We'll do it in 2 runs. We'll just do, because we've got to do this everyday thing, so we're going to put it in just normal setting.
Yep.
And do a couple of laps just to see what it's like on normal touring mode. And then we'll put it in sports mode and see what she's like.
Okay.
Jump in, see if we can do some laps.
No worries, mate.
Cool. All right, dude. Yeah. Are you comfortable?
Extremely, mate.
It's all right.
Mate, it's not every day you get to be driven around by the 2-time Bathurst 1000 winner in a Corvette. What an extremely wonderful thing that's happening to me today.
No, just tick that one off the bucket list. Hey? Tick. Rightio. Stop pumping up my tyres. You know I love it. Hey,
I like seeing you at work, Russ.
Yeah.
Because
I like driving shit.
Yeah.
It's good. Especially cool cars like this.
Yeah.
So, it's got a heap
fan of yours, you know.
Big fan. Stop it.
Right, tell me about this car.
Right, it's got a heap of different modes. So we're in touring mode at the moment, right?
Yep.
So I can adjust it also. I thought we'd put it in that because we reference that as an everyday, is it okay for an everyday?
That effect on the suspension as well, is it?
Suspension.
You feel it just quite subtle over the bumps and
exhaust,
so
steering.
That gets around your everyday driver.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Vision's pretty good. Like all sports cars, mirrors are quite small, so yeah, you have to make sure you position them right, you know, but you can't see a hell of a lot out the back window, I've got to tell you. So generally it's pretty good vision, you know, for something like this. I'll tell you what, even compared to the Camaro, you know, and the Mustang, I reckon this has got better vision than Camaro.
Yeah.
And you know, as good as say something like a Mustang.
Yep.
Which is pretty good, you know. So like out the back window you can't see a hell of a lot, but what sports car can, you know, so feels alright though. Suspension?
I can feel it, just quite subtle.
Yep.
Absorbing the bumps.
Steering's nice and light. Nice feel on the wheel.
Yeah. Quiet. Not annoying. The exhaust.
It's alright.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I'm surprised. I was ready.
Feel the roll there?
I was ready to be doing all of this floating around, but it's actually really, like, from the driver's side, And passenger more important, because you tend to feel more in the passenger seat than you do in the driver's seat, because you can hang on to something.
Well, if I shut my eyes here now,
Yep.
I feel like dynamically I'm in a Commodore or, you know,
Yep.
HSV Commodore or something like that. You
Spot
know,
on.
the ride quality's
Yeah, spot
similar
on.
to that, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think there's no way I think I'm in a sports car?
No. So the feedback that I've got from owners is exactly right. You know, you can drive this around town and it not wear you out, wear you down. You know.
Have you ordered one for Julia?
Oh, we're sort of empty nesters, so could be getting to that stage.
If you ain't one, it'd only go up in value too, mate, especially you signed the logbook or something. You should get on.
Well, we should have ordered one, because talking to
2-year wait list.
Yeah, Greg from Special Vehicles, the first lot sold out 250
Gonski.
in minutes. In minutes it was gone, so that's pretty wild. All right, let's put her. Let's skip the modes and let's go right up to track mode.
Yep.
So I'll show you to do that. So we got a little lever here, right?
Yep.
So we roll there, and then you see it come up on the dash. Nice screen too. It's very sort of Apple sport mode. You hear it change the
you can
exhaust.
program all the settings.
Yeah, you can. So we'll go to track mode, and there's all the settings there, right? So steering, you can alter, exhaust note, all that sort of stuff. So you can actually go into it and change this. So
with that engine sound, just put that in normal for me.
Oh, we'll have to go into.
Yep.
We have
That's
to go.
it?
Yep. No, we'll have to go into Z mode.
Yeah.
And then then we can edit this.
Yeah. Okay.
So see.
Oh,
Stealth.
mate.
Oh, there you go. Engine.
Okay, so that's perfect.
Tour. Yeah, tour, sport, track.
So we can go track mode, but still have the exhaust on stealth. That's what we want for around Norwell.
Okay, so we're on.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
we're on stealth.
Yep.
Steering, middle way, suspension hard.
Yep.
Engine gear change hard, so that'll be long shifts. But we use the paddle, put in manual.
Yep.
Brake feel hard. You know, like I presume that feel will be like real touchy.
Yep.
You know, so more brake pressure.
Perfect.
So it's in Z mode now.
Perfect.
And then down here, it's got the manual, so we can use the paddle shift.
Yep.
So put in that. It's in manual now.
Mate, that's a great idea.
Well,
because I can have all the modes, but still have the engine.
yeah. Well, it's not too bad, is it?
What's perfect?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I'm on the paddles now.
Yeah.
So for like Norwell, where you got to keep the noise down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can still go around here and have a fat old time. Oh, how's the suspension though?
Big difference.
How much has that stiffened it up?
Yeah, I do my close my eyes test.
Yeah. I'll grab a bit of curb.
Oh, I can just feel it straight away, Russ.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stiffened it right up. Because you know how in some that have got these electronic adjustable dampers,
Yep.
you can go through the whole range and you can't tell any difference at all. This has made it,
So
this has stiffened it right up.
You've gone right to the other end of the scale
Yeah,
there
this
now.
is flat out with everything. So.
Yep.
Definitely. Steering's firmed up as well. Auto blip. Tell you what,
What is it? 6.2?
6.2.
You can. Nothing like a bit of cubes, is it?
No, that's. Pretty balanced. What do you reckon?
Good, mate. She's a hell of a ride from here. You know what I like? It's still got that grunt of the big V8, hadn't it?
Yeah. Now that was grabbing, you know, when it's grabbing the brakes.
You had a breath, mate.
No. Stability.
ABS or
stability controls on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was grabbing it. So really, you'd take that off, but
yeah.
Man, it's balanced. What a thing.
I'd love to have a go.
Yeah, man, it's. I got to tell you, it's impressively balanced. I'm ready for either because of the rear engine, a mass oversteer or understeer. What do you want to take it in? Touring or?
No, just go straight in.
Straight in. Hang on. Put it in park.
TC, there you go. You can bypass that too.
Yep.
There you go, all that shit's off now.
Yeah, that's all off.
Yep.
Okay, you're in.
Stealth mode. I like that.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks tough on a track.
The seating position's not that much different, eh?
Actually, it feels just as good over here. You know what I mean? Like all this.
It's a good ride sit for me.
Hey, good passenger ride car. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing for a, I don't know, if
yeah.
you had one for a track car and you're giving corporate rides,
Would be good, eh?
someone that knows what they're doing. All right. Get your eye in. She goes hard. All right.
Where do I get it to go?
Oh yeah. Lift it. Yep. Do you want manual?
Yes, please.
Do you want flappy paddle?
Yeah, I want full Spanish, mate.
Manuel. Full Manuel. All right.
Did you left or right foot brake?
No, I'm still right foot. But
Okay.
I should have left foot, shouldn't I?
Oh, I don't know. It's got a nice footrest.
Well,
there.
you do both. You're
Yeah.
a twin, aren't you? You can do both.
Oh, okay, I see. So it doesn't rev a lot, eh?
No, it's
But
tons
you don't
of torque.
need to, yeah.
Tons of torque. Jeez, it's got a bit of bike, hasn't it? Is the ABS still working with the traction off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope so.
How good's the gears?
Jesus, she turned in.
Jesus, dude.
Had to have a bit of a board meeting with myself then.
Jesus Christ.
But that's the rear end, right?
That's a yeah. See, it wasn't doing it with me because I had the stability on. So,
I thought I had it, and
mate, how would you
just kept coming.
You highly recommend for an average driver to keep the stability control on, eh?
Yeah, just have it there, mate.
Yeah, don't do this at home, folks. Keep the stability control on. How good's the steering?
Good on the curves too, isn't it?
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow. This is crazy.
Yeah, I can sort this one out this time.
Yeah.
That's better.
It's like it's got a ton of aero on it. Jesus. Alright. Well.
Early twos, you reckon, for this?
Early twos.
That's going to be the best value car going around, isn't it?
Whether you buy something like even over a GT3 Porsche, which is, you would regard a Porsche 911 as the ultimate track day car, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah,
But
I suppose.
I'll tell you what, for half the price, plus, wow.
Put a set of slicks on this thing, it'd be quick as a V8 supercar, wouldn't it?
Mate, it'd be fast. How good? How good? I thought that ZL1 was good, but that was good in a straight line. This is good in a straight line and round a corner.
It's got that punchy torque like a muscle car has.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then
for normally aspirated, it hauls ass out of a corner, doesn't it? Like it's.
and then driving around town, you got your Commodore mode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Hang on, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure
Pretty
we can't hang on to it for a...
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, we should. Oh, geez, dynamically now. Yeah, I can feel that already.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
That's tour mode now.
Yeah.
That's tour mode. So that's all soft. Actually, even the engine it's not as much power. Notice that?
Yeah.
It's actually dulled the power down as
Oh,
well.
I like that. Feel the roll?
Oh, I feel that. That's
Feel
a
the
big
roll,
difference,
yeah.
isn't it?
Look at the pitch.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's take it back in and give it a debrief, mate. I reckon that's...
Are we having to go at the lap record or?
Hey? Oh, mate, I've got something else lined up.
What?
Well, I've got a special guest coming out.
Well, yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Mate, you want to be pretty good to be better than you.
Well, mate.
Not the two-time.
He's all right. But anyway, I thought we'd do a shootout. So
Really?
we'd do some shootout laps.
Yeah, you got covered.
so we might do the lap then. We might give it a run.
Special guest.
So, special guest.
Okay.
Impressed?
I'd buy one right now if you could, eh?
Oh, you
That's,
put your order in?
well, I don't run out of money because I would have bought the TRX,
Yeah.
Ram,
Yeah.
and you have to have this. Just good value cars, right?
Would that be your ideal garage?
I reckon it would be, wouldn't it?
A TRX, this.
And maybe an electric Mini just for going to get the milk.
Big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It's good, isn't it?
It's great, mate. I'm so impressed. Like, you know, touring mode gives you an every
Touring
good every
mode's
day.
good, eh? That's
Touring
just
mode's
like
good. Like it
round
actually,
town.
one of the few cars that I've driven that you actually change settings and it does something. It's tunable. You could probably take it out to a track, flog around all day, and then drive it home at nights with no dramas.
I reckon
So-
you could. We just did.
Yeah.
We just give it plenty, but I think the only thing you need to worry about is what colour you want. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
No.
It ticks a lot of boxes, doesn't it?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm impressed. What'd you give
Put
it?
on. Hey?
Would you give it out of 10?
In its bracket?
Yep, in its bracket.
10.
Oh, serious? Pretty cool. Yeah, it's not far
Because I'm
off.
not an exotic car guy, you know.
No,
I've got
no.
friends that have got those sort of cars, and I'm like, I can't fit in them, and the thing's too
Yeah.
noisy, and
Yeah.
you annoy all your neighbours and that. But
Yeah.
like we just tracked it then and had it in that stealth mode, and
Yeah.
had a ball, and
Yeah.
I can fit in it, and what you get for the price.
No. And it's got a boot, both
Oh,
ends.
yeah?
It's boot front and
Got
rear. So you've actually got a bit of storage in it as well. So there's a boot front and rear. And the other cool thing about it as well, it's on springs, right? It's on springs.
Yep.
But it's actually got a hydraulic lift in the front.
Right.
Right, so if you've got a low curb or gut, which is a major
Oh, I
issue
saw that
with these
button in
things.
there. Yeah.
It actually will lift the front, right? Well, let's put it on because I reckon this is a massive feature.
Getting
right?
in and out of the driveway.
Oh, absolutely. You know, so it's something that you know you have dramas with all the time.
There she goes, Russ.
Yeah.
I reckon your Formula Ford had that.
Hi.
I reckon your Formula Ford had that.
What are you suggesting, dude? That we were cheating. We never cheated, mate. But the cool thing about that is you can actually, it's got a monumental mount that you can load into it for position. So it runs on GPS.
Oh, so it knows when you're coming home, going up the gutter.
So if you got on, when you press it, it logs it. so you don't have to keep doing it on your own. So you can actually drive into your driveway, remembers where it is, knows, last time I was here, it lifted up there. So that's your favourite restaurant, supermarket, home, whatever. Memorises it all.
Hence, it's a great everyday car.
That's right, because that how many times do you see in a shopping centre, Fred in his lowered, sports car.
With the cat's cut off the bloody
having
thing.
Having to go on an angle.
Making a noise.
People queuing up behind because he's trying to crawl up the curb.
Yeah.
This memorises it, lifts the front, up and over, then once it's gone through, lowers it back down again.
It's good.
Serious?
We need to get on the list.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Reckon they give us a deal?
No.
Oh.
No one does deals now, mate. What do you reckon, dude?
Well, you're still wearing the hat, mate.
I know. Well,
what are you going to...
They gave me a free hat. Got to get something for free, mate.
That's pretty good.
They won't give me the car, so I've got a hat.
Yeah.
It's good though, isn't it?
Mate, as I said, mate, the only thing you got to think about is what colour you want.
You're blown away. I can see that when you're driving it. You thought it was a good...
I don't normally like...
I know you don't. I know
little cars, you know.
Yeah.
They're made for little people, but...
And I was talking to the team from GM Special Vehicles, and they said, because I said, where does the Camaro fit into all that? And even though the Camaro currently in Australia isn't available, that the GM Special Vehicles part of it being Silverados and the Corvette.
Now the Corvette.
Yeah, that's the sales. That's the sort of, straight from production. Now, the Silverados obviously get converted here in Australia, but that's their bread and butter. That's what they're selling. But they're very much going to get involved in all forms of racing. So as far as supercars are concerned, Camaro was the only one they can use.
For sure.
You can't use a Corvette shell, can you?
No, not unless we're racing GT3 cars, which...
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
One day we might.
Be great.
Yeah.
But for now, the Camaro was the fit for that. So they're using that as a branding tool.
Yeah.
So the Camaro, especially also in drag, they get involved in drag racing. They got a Camaro drag car, which is great because everyone's got the Chevy emblem in drag racing. It's always been a big thing. And I think they're using that particular car as a branding tool, which is pretty smart. I think that's a good thing to do because that gets people involved with the brand, and then you've got, okay, here's what we are selling. So I think it's important to don't think, well, hang on, we can't buy the Camaro, so what's the use of racing it? Look at the big picture here. The big picture is it's to highlight the brand and make all those Holden people we're talking about at Bathurst, back in there. Back
half the people that follow V8 supercar racing in Australia are GM fans.
Yeah,
you need a vehicle to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
So you're right. It'll keep them aligned to the brand, and hopefully they want to buy a truck, they're going to buy a Silverado. If they want a Corvette, they're going to buy a Corvette.
And it's always and the brand is, we just think of cars, but also think of, you're building a hot rod or something. 9 times out of 10 they use an LS3 because it's a good size engine, So again, it may not be a whole car, but it's the brand. It's the Chevy engine, So I think that I've sort of got my head around it. Oh, okay, right. I was thinking about it the wrong way. Oh, you can't
buy that car.
I think we've got to get out of the mindset now. After this year, where we're not going to see Holden anymore. That it's not you could buy a Holden for the last 3 years, but. Forget about what races on the track is what you buy. I think it's a brand. Look at it as a branding
It's
exercise.
a
marketing tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you look at why Toyota and Ford and GM are involved in NASCAR in America, it's to sell pickup trucks.
Yeah. Spot on.
That's what it's all about. And
spot on.
Someone like Tony Stewart, who went to Toyota and then he went to Ford.
Yep.
That was all about selling pickup trucks in the Midwest because that's very strong. So I reckon that's what it's about. It's a good one.
Spot on. See, this man gets it.
Yeah.
All right. Don't get comfortable in that chair.
Okay.
We're going back out on track.
What? Do you get another car?
No, same car.
It's a mystery tour every time.
Oh no! Well, mate, I just love throwing curveballs.
What are we going to do?
We've got a driver out there who reckons he's pretty good and reckons he wants to take us on. Reckons he wants to give us a bit of a run for our money.
What, round here?
A shootout lap.
Reckon knock us off round here?
Yeah, I said, okay, well, we got a Corvette down here, so you reckon you're any good? Bring your best.
What do you got?
Oh, you want to come out and meet him?
Yeah, well, reckon he's got to knock off around here, mate.
Make sure he doesn't. He's come to your backyard, so he better not beat you.
Have you driven round here before?
Oh, yeah, he's done a few laps.
Oh, okay, I might get knocked off.
No, don't let him beat us. Come on, let's go. Hey, I told you. Hey, I've got pull, mate. I've got star power. Like, I can pull the best. Hey, dude. How you going?
How's he?
There you go. I told you, he wants to take us on.
I might start him today.
Well, good result at Bathurst, and all of a sudden he's swinging and swinging. I can take the dude and the enforcer on.
Yeah.
We'll try.
We'll try.
We'll try.
Hey, how good's this thing?
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? It's amazing. Like, they've really transformed what their sort of mid-range engine now can do, the 6.2 litre V8.
Yeah.
And it's got a great induction night. Like, when you drive it inside it, the cabin's quite nice, but the induction noise that you get as a driver is really incredible.
Because you've done a few laps, you went to the bend,
Yes.
Tailem Bend in this thing.
Yeah.
How good would they
He's
be on
been
Tailem
secretly
Bend?
testing.
Oh, well, true. It hasn't been around here, though.
No, I haven't been around here in this yet, no.
This would have
no.
been good around Tailem Bend.
It was, actually, and the beauty about it, it sort of trends more of an understeering car than an oversteering car. So for driver, it gives you a bit more confidence to be able to push it in, knowing that it's not going to step out or actually completely go away from you. But it's a really nicely balanced car.
That's one thing we noticed, wasn't it? Is actually the rear, how stable it was considering it was rear engine, that it didn't have the big moment, you know. I've driven European cars and gone, oh, this is dangerous. Like,
yeah. And the other thing too is really nice is the brake package. Like it's we talked about sort of, you know, as a road car, the fade you get over a couple of laps, especially on a track like this, but it actually doesn't. Like what we had at Tailem Bend, well, it's got probably longer straights, but the brake package is really consistent.
Well, let's stop talking about it. Let's do it.
Show us what you got.
Okay.
So, hang on, it's one lap shootout. So,
One lap.
One lap.
Okay.
One lap.
Where are you timing from?
We're timing from that orange cone, just past the Norwell thing.
Yep.
See the orange cone?
So you're allowed an outer.
That's the time. So out, around, and then start the lap.
Okay.
And then cool down lap back in. Then we'll do a driver change.
Yep.
So, we're in. You on?
Yeah, I'm ready for
We're
it.
doing rock, paper. I was going to say do rock, paper, scissors,
Scissors,
but I can't work.
yeah.
All right, you're in.
Let's see what he's got, mate.
We leave the front up. All right, dude.
I got
Lowndsy.
Stop watching.
Lowndsy the
Lowndsy in
legend.
the Corvette, eh?
Yeah, Lowndsy the legend. Here we go. You ready? Start. Oh, he's a bit cautious through there. Oh, you got to watch that. It actually stepped out a bit
Got
there.
a little bit. You have to chase it a bit, didn't you?
Yeah. Go on, Lowndsy. Come on.
More understeer. Gonna get that thing into the apex. Nicely done. Now the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Get it in. Throttle, nice. Traction, even better. Get it in. Apex. Nice. Throttle.
Low 61.
Mid 2, low 2.5 I'm going to go for. 62.5 I reckon.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Get it. Get back.
2.48.
245. 2.4. That's not bad.
Huh?
Okay. We got to get this on camera. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm in at 2.5.
Who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
$62.4.
62. All right.
2.4, mate.
It's good. You haven't done anything, have
I
you?
haven't touched anything.
Yeah.
No, I promise.
You haven't put it in tour mode or old man mode
No.
or something? All right.
No, I
I'm
promise.
trusting you.
No.
Don't dub me.
No.
All right.
You have to dig deep, Russ, here.
So what was it again? A 62.
62.4.
Oh, okay.
I got a 2.48, Russ got a 2.45, so... I said it to do a 2.5,
Yeah.
and you were bang on it. It goes off the road on that wet grass, it's been a bit wet.
Okay.
He's not going to want to pay to fix it, so he might bank it.
I did actually put the air conditioning back on. Maybe psyching himself up.
There you go. Oh, he's had the wobble.
He's ran too high. This is the pressure of a one lap.
It is, mate.
You've got to get every corner right.
Do you go for it, or you just run the banker and hope for the best?
Well, he's ran deep again.
He is the shootout shooter, isn't he? He's got the Jesus Christ. Put the pressure on him.
You know the first excuse he's going to have is I turned all the aids on.
Oh, you have the wheel going,
Got the wheels squealing again.
Oh, that was so bad. Damn it.
I reckon it was probably all that kind of down there.
You can still see a line on the road there for those two.
No excuses, but the stability control wouldn't turn off. Damn. Why wouldn't it turn off? No. You're kidding me.
What did you do? Turn all the shit off?
No, the stability control wouldn't turn off.
Oh, really?
And I had a massive moment in the
Really? Oh, we saw it down here and down here.
because it just grabbed everything.
Oh.
5 mil off, I go, oh, I'm going in. Damn.
What's it got now?
I think it's all off now.
Oh, is it? You think?
No, no. No, it is.
You're
Look.
stitching him up again.
No, the TC's on.
Was that your dummy spit rag?
No, I got it. No, don't touch anything now. Cause
Oh, okay.
No, serious.
All right, mate. Just
No, when,
Grab the phone, you're going to have to time him.
when I came in, I turned it all off.
all right to go.
Holy shit, it went in because it grabbed all the wheels. I'm going, oh, no.
All that going on, you're close.
That's bad, mate.
All right, now see what the dude can do.
God. I want to steer the car.
Oh, that was funny. He reckons there's a 61 in it.
This is either going to be fast or
Yeah.
it's going to be in the fence.
Well, that's what he said about you. Nice. You had a little moment in that middle of that corner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Got it in.
nice. There. See if you got it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a smooth one. This will be the one.
Nice. Yeah, on the throttle. Nice.
Yeah, right. That's tricky, that one, because if you don't hook it in tight enough and get in the groove, it just
Do you use
pushes.
second or third there?
I used second. I reckon third would have been...
I use the torque of the engine.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about it pushing, so
Yeah.
I knocked it down a cod.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. Ready? Oh, this is one. He had a bit of a moment here earlier in the day.
Oh, he's nice.
Jesus,
Done well.
that was a big lap.
Yep. He's done it.
1, 2. Only dusted us by over a second, don't worry. Still got it. Holy jeez, that's a fast lap.
Yep.
That's
He said it was a 61 in it.
Whew,
Yep.
that's pretty clean.
Right. Maybe he needs to take it for a
Oh,
drive.
It's got the Norwell lap record for production car now.
He has.
Because the ZL1 had it before that.
Oh yeah, what was that?
That was, I think that was a 2.9 we got that down to.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't quote me on that. Actually, could have been slower. Could have been slower, but I think that's pretty solid.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah.
Shit. Yeah, okay.
It just proves the balance. They got the mixture and
That's it, yeah.
ingredients right.
Got to give him a clap.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
1.8.
Nah. That was impressive.
That was good, dude.
Well, I did have the opportunity to go last, and I saw your fuck-ups and thought I won't make it.
He did make a few.
I didn't give you a dud steer with it. I turned it off on the in-lap. I finally got it off.
Yeah.
But with that stability control on, it just kept grabbing and throwing me out. Like,
Oh, right, okay.
It's interesting though, like you said the same about Russell. Russell said the same about you. You know, either win it or bin it.
I just ran a really good, clean lap.
clean. Got it in the apexes.
Well,
That's fast.
it just keeps pointing, right?
Yeah.
And if you trail brake a bit too much, then the arse end comes around. But if you just time the brake release right, it's just enough to yaw you and get off the corner, isn't it?
Pretty wild.
Wild, cool car.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
No, and the stance of it just looks cool.
And the good
Yeah.
thing about it is for a track day car,
Yeah, perfect.
wow. You know, would you want any more?
No, no,
All
no,
right.
no.
I did, you know what? I did feel the pressure, eh?
That's,
Well, he
I said the same
commented.
to him.
I'm like, and my hands are gripping up, and I'm like, I'm only mucking around, but it's like, oh, shit, you know.
That's what I said to him. I said, that's why I was such a shit qualifier, because I was the king of practice and then shit at qualifying. A bit more pressure, you're out. It used to be the other way. You used to sneak
Yeah,
up to it.
but we had good tyres back
good
then. You were Dunlop and we were Bridgestone.
Actually, had something with grip. So. Hey, well done on Bathurst too, by the way. You happy with that? Because
Well,
you're with the pack.
Yeah, happy but not happy. Like I think everyone tried to run the low drag car for Conrod Straight.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
couldn't do it. We couldn't get the rear wing down and get the rear tyre to last. So we did, like after I did my first stint, we put Declan in, we actually put the rear wing down. He complained
Yeah.
about nervousness.
Yeah.
And then I got in, I did a stint, and I said to Roland, we need to get it back
Yeah.
because we need the stability and the consistency.
Gotta get to the end.
We had to get to the end, yeah. So we had good
Wow.
speed across the top, but we had no straight line.
And that's just what, not in the car all the time, you think, or?
No, I think we missed something because the two Red
Okay.
Bull cars managed it,
Yep.
but we couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
So
Mind you, they look.
So it was tyre life not being too
tyre
spooky.
life, yeah.
Gizzy's looked
okay.
loose though. I mean, it was
Yeah.
loose coming down the hill. It was like.
yeah.
And the thing is, I reckon that was a more sensible way to do it, the way you did it.
Yeah.
Because imagine if it was a real loose car coming down with Declan, no offence to Declan,
Yeah.
but hasn't got the experience, a Tander can hang on to it.
Yeah.
So you're better off running it safe and making the end, you know.
But how's the start of the race? I'm
How
right
was
behind
it?
Jamie.
Yeah.
He almost KOs
Yeah.
himself out of turn one. They all disappear. I managed to squeeze through. And then poor old Zane Goddard made a little mistake. And I was watching him. I'm like, well, he's coming. And boom, straight through him. But yeah, it was a crazy race.
Good to be back in.
It's good to be back in it, yeah.
Back in the main seat too. You know what I mean? Like, it must be good for you. You know, you're not having to. Not that there's anything wrong with a co-driver,
No,
but you're the man. you're in there.
You talk about qualifying pressure. I remember sitting in the car about to go out for qualifying, and it's actually teeming down. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the last place I want to be.
Go
Actually, I love it.
And Murph wanders over from the other side of the garage, pokes his head and says, mate, yeah, good luck. And I said, I gave him a good finger. And then it's basically come the start of the race on Sunday. He was nervous. He was pacing.
Yeah.
And I walked up to him and I did what you always used to do, like play the mind games. I said,
Yeah.
Mate, you've only been out of the car for like 10
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Don't screw it up. Don't stall it. Like all that sort of stuff. And he actually started thinking about it. He's like, I don't want to start this thing. But
That's
the
it.
pressure of what
Yeah.
you get under.
Hey, was that fun? Being with them?
Oh,
Being
yeah.
with them?
Oh,
I reckon that's
unbelievable.
cool.
You should have seen when they qualified in the tent. Like the place erupted because Richie did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
You know, like in the wet, you just
Yeah,
get
yeah,
able to
yeah.
drive it, and he did a great job. But then it put more pressure on poor old Murph.
Yeah, yeah.
He had to start the race.
And what about RD back on the
Well, you know the funny thing
on the
is,
tools? He's pretty.
yeah, but he smiled. You know, it's a rarity. You don't see him smile.
So he's
often.
he had a good time.
He had a really good time.
He was, because we had him on the show on Wednesday night, and it was like a different Roland. Oh, he was on fire and laughing, high-fiving.
How many
and
notebooks did he
really
go through,
good.
you reckon?
Oh, a couple. No, there's still a couple of notebooks.
Was there?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Even in the 3 practice sessions or the test days we had at QR,
Yeah.
like it was just constant. You just hope the
Can't
name
take
doesn't
it
go
out.
in there.
Can't
Have you
take it
not
out.
on there?
It's pretty cool though, because he was
it's
a
a good
different
bit.
Roland Dane.
Oh, have you ever seen him operate run of the team?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, and obviously, you know, the things change and things get more technical. But
Yeah.
these core values of how to run a race team,
Oh, yeah.
just stick.
And
through
you
and
know
through.
you've got somebody in your corner. Like
Yeah.
if things go wrong, it's no. There's no sort of mismanagement or there's no hesitation. It's like,
Yeah.
bang, let's do it, get it done.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, good.
And very cool with Romy doing the engineering.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was a good one.
female engineer.
Yeah.
Is that first ever?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
First ever. I mean, that's pretty cool. Done a great job because she
Yeah.
was sort of assisting last year in the wild card when we ran, and very good. Good to
Yeah.
deal with, level-headed, you know.
Yep.
sort of
And the
gets on with it.
confidence grew over the week. I
It
think
would
it
have
was,
been, yeah,
she was like, she knew what she wanted to do and what she wanted to achieve. But I think with Roland beside her, giving her a bit of a guidance of like, all right, Romy, what are we doing? Like, and she had to step up, and she did.
Yeah. Pretty
And,
cool.
yeah. What about working with Deckage? Enjoy that role, young bloke?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And you know, the interesting thing was, it's more like going back when I
Would've
first
been.
started in '94, walking in with Brock, and like, whoa, look at this giant. Like we got in the car parade, and he's poor bugger, which rain,
saying.
and got the umbrella, and he's like, what do I do? I said, mate, wave, like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You
And-
sort of forget that, don't you? Like you forget that in the whole wash-up of over the top it must have been for the
Yeah.
boy. Like
It was
geez,
good
damn.
performance. Very
Oh,
easy
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Very easy thing to mess up and to just
Yeah.
hold yourself on that where you need to be. But obviously,
Oh, he did a great job, and like even as I said, when we took the rear wing down to minimum,
Yeah.
like he struggled, but
Yeah.
he dealt with the struggle.
yeah,
Yeah.
And he really, like, you know, Roland, I think at that point was like, oh, I think the car's better than you, sort of thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
He actually managed that
Good on him.
part of the race really well.
I think the whole wild card thing's been such a success, and I hope it keeps building with other teams as well, because it's just cool, you know, and gives opportunities to young guys as well as
Oh,
the
Murph and I,
established.
we drag us back out.
Well, it's a good deal. It's a good deal around.
Oh, and I think the good thing about Declan, hopefully he's gone away from the weekend now, understanding, and I've said this even to all the super cheap auto guys, it wasn't in the car that I was worried for him. It was all the external stuff that you
Yeah,
deal with, all
yeah,
the corporate visits, the signing sessions, you know, running
Takes up
from
a lot of
Super
mental
2,
energy,
come
doesn't
back.
it?
Yeah. So but to manage all that and get him through all that.
No better teacher than
Yeah.
you, because you've dealt with plenty of that over the
Oh
years.
yeah, and the weather, like how wet was it?
Yeah. Pretty
So,
cool.
yeah,
Very good.
that's
Well,
great.
well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Bloody good effort.
Thanks for
Hey, thanks for
coming
coming
Now,
out.
well, I have to come back and get some tutoring now.
How's that?
Yeah.
We got dusted. we got dusted by, I won't say the old boy, because hey, we always knew you. Mate, come back, lose a bit of this, and you'll be in the
You
second.
reckon?
Actually. Yeah.
I just got a letter
Oh,
from
yeah.
the FIA. I'm
yeah.
now a bronze ranked driver.
There you go.
Game on.
Want it?
Yeah. You'll be in.
What do you reckon, 20 kilos?
20 kilos. 20 kilos, you'll be in the Bathurst next year.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably easier watching it, I reckon.
Yeah, it is.
On that note, thanks guys.
Thanks,
See you
Lowndes.
next time out. Thanks, Lowndes.